Hello folks, welcome to X-Plane 11. I'm very excited to bring to you a brand new aircraft today from Carenado. This is their King Air C90. And as I pan around this aircraft, just look at the detail here. This is typical Carenado. 4K textures, PBR rendering everywhere. It just looks beautiful. And all of those rivets, and even the skin of the aircraft, I can see like the ripples in the metal. Like it's not perfectly smooth, you can see like little dints and things, which just adds to that realism. The landing gear there, you can see the calipers, if we just go around here, of the undercarriage. It's just very, very well modelled everywhere. And this, by the way, has just received a brand new update. This is version 1.2. So if you do own this aircraft, be pleased to know that it's had a few little updates which has made this aircraft near perfect now. I'm very pleased to say that I did reach out to Carenado and they responded very quickly, and I'm very impressed. Within a few days all of those little niggles are now sorted, and as we look in the cockpit, just look at what we have here. Oh my god, it's just gorgeous. And I think in a 4K headset like the Reverb, you just really get to see all those details as the developer intended. I feel like I could run my finger along there and just feel that material. And of course, if we go back into the cabin here, everything is looking exactly how it should. Just really achingly beautiful. Feel like I've got my own personal King Air here. And of course this is like the little baby King Air, the C90. So what I thought we could do is fly from this beautiful airfield here in Innsbruck in Austria. Look at those mountains, wow. We're going to fly to Courchevel. Very, very challenging approach, and hopefully this little King Air should be able to get into it no problems. The only thing that will stop it from getting in there safely is the pilot. In other words, me. So we'll see how we get on there. But I'm pleased to say the aircraft is fully VR ready as well, which obviously gives a big thumbs up in my book, that's for sure. As you can see, I'm just showing you here some of these things you can do. That can close. And look, everything's got a nice bespoke sound. So if you're really into your King Airs, this really is a must buy, I've got to say. But anyway, before we really make a decision on this aircraft, let's do this full flight, as I say, from Innsbruck to Courchevel. So we'll get everything started up here. Battery coming on. And just listen to the gyros coming to life, the battery. And just those, all of the little clicks. We'll get that engine started straight away. And we'll get cracking. Audio is so crisp. Right, before it gets too noisy, we'll shut those windows. Nice touch again. That obviously with the windows open or shut, that makes a difference. And honestly, I think audio is something that is often overlooked in flight sims, but it really is important, because if anything, the audio is compensating for the fact that you do not have any sense of motion, so it has to be really, really spot on. And I've got to say, top marks for Carenado for making this aircraft sound and feel like you're in the real thing. Okay, so as we're about to hold short, we'll get our final checks done, make sure nothing's coming. Be a really spectacular departure. We'll put our landing lights on and our strobe. We'll put our boost pumps on for this takeoff. Flaps can come down. And what we'll do is we'll just go right to the end here. We'll put our condition lever right up here. I really do feel that Carenado have a real place in the flight sim market. You know, it's all very well having these study level aircraft, and they're fantastic. But you have to realise that they take years to model, and sometimes you just want to have a somewhat really, you know, authentic experience in a favourite aircraft, a business jet, or, you know, a turboprop or a single prop aircraft. They have so many aircraft that are good enough in terms of their modelling that they really are enjoyable without breaking the bank and without having to wait about 3 years between each aircraft. So I think it's a nice model that they have, and I do like their ethos as a company, to be honest, particularly in the sense that they do produce high quality aircraft. They just don't have the system depth as some of the other aircraft that you might be accustomed to. But that's okay. I'm happy. I'm cool with that, really, because it's a different type of experience. Right, I think we're ready for a departure. So, yeah, I think we're ready. CDI is all set. Time to get cracking. Rising that torque up. Holding on the brakes here. And off we go. Bit of a push there from the wind. 70 knots, 80 knots. Looking for our V1. There it is. Rotate and up she goes. Let's go outside for the departure. So yeah, this is my first proper flight in the King Air, and it will be a sort of a review flight to see how this aircraft feels. But I love little turboprops like this. They've got so much character and they're so much fun to fly. It's great that Carenado are still pumping these out. So far so good. The autopilot is behaving itself. We're on course, doing our departure. I like how the torque goes red there if you're slightly above. Just back that off a bit, because I'm sure the engines will probably fail in this. I know their Beach King Air B200, if you over torque the aircraft, the engines, it will definitely fail. Okay, now we're going to try FLC mode and make sure that's all working properly. We're going to climb out at 200. Actually, no, we'll just pull that down a bit here. And put FLC on. See all of that PBR light reflecting off the wing there. I've got to say, I think it looks fantastic in this livery. That kind of all kind of dark grey black looks very purposeful. Reminds me of the Navy and RAF King Airs. Some of them are black and they just look really, really good. In fact, I think they've now been replaced by the Phenom business jet. But very nice views here in the King Air. I must say, because sometimes Carenado autopilots have a mind of their own, but this particular autopilot on the aircraft is working perfectly. Right, we'll put our landing lights off now. We've got 10,000 feet. We can probably take our ignitions off now as well. Our pitot heat's on. Getting a few stutters here. That's X-plane, not the aircraft. Everything is looking good. So we're getting quite a bit of turbulence here. Aircraft handling it very nicely. That is our departure, the MOG TI departure I think it's called, and we've got a turn coming up here. Let's just see how the aircraft handles that, particularly as we are getting thrown around quite a bit here. Now, in case you're wondering, I've left all of the reflection detail on in the cockpit just to assess frame rate, because that is another thing. With all these 4K textures and the Proline system hard at work, oh wow, look at that for a view as we've broken out. You know, you can, well, there is that chance of some poor frame rate, but I must admit, I haven't seen any issues with frame rate at all in this aircraft. I remember old Carenado aircraft were prepared. Some of their sort of G1000s and Proline system equipped aircraft tended to have a bit of a frame rate hit, and that was mainly due to the Sims limitations. I think with X-plane that just isn't a problem, which is fantastic, and it'll be even less of a problem once Falcon arrives. Look at those views, oh my god, wow, that is a wing view and a half. Screenshot there, it's got to be done. Just look at that. In fact, that you can see there, that is where the Orbex scenery ends and my own ortho starts. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Keep adjusting the torque here. We don't have auto throttles in this aircraft, or FADEC as far as I'm aware. So here we go, this is the turn now. We're going off the departure route and onto our flight plan. And it seems to be behaving itself very nicely, still maintaining 141 knots, FLC mode, nav mode, and that is a nice turn there. Beautiful. You've got to say, it's a very, very photogenic aircraft. It is absolutely beautiful. And just looking out at that huge engine in VR, it never ever gets old. That is for sure. Tell you what, we're really rocketing up here. We're at just passing 17,000 feet now. Going back on that torque there. Making sure that everything's in order. We should really go standard at this point. There we go. 17,500 feet. 13,000 feet to go. We're going right up to 30,000 feet. I'm not quite sure what the surface ceiling of this aircraft is actually, so that's poor planning on my part, but I think it will be around the 30,000 mark. Very much like the TBM. we admire these views, there is one thing about this aircraft that does stand out from many of the other aircraft out there. As I say, it's very VR friendly, and that also extends, to a degree anyway, to the VR lib rain effects. Now this does have lib rain support. Only thing is, oh look at that, look, we've got an aircraft there. Can you see that, guys? Very nice indeed. Oh wow. Gorgeous. So yeah, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, basically this has lib rain support. If you download the file from the Carenado website, that will work but only in 2D mode. In VR, there is another lib rain effect that you need, which I will link in the description below, that if you add that into your plugins folder, you will get beautifully modelled little droplets of rain that will go all over the windshield that you'll be able to see in VR. So that is worth knowing, and what I'll do is, before the video is finished, I'll change the weather, because I don't think we're going to get any rain today, but I'll change the weather so that you'll be able to see all those VR rain effects in action. So it looks like we're turning now, and we're nearly at cruise altitude of 300. So we're in a turboprop, and we are really high up now into the flight levels. And I'll tell you what, the view out here is staggering. We'll have to just keep an eye out for all of that traffic label. Goodness, there's another aircraft up there. As I said in my previous video of Just Flight's traffic label, I'll always have this running now because it is just a superb add-on. And really, this aircraft, this will be one of my main turboprop aircraft that I'll be flying from now on as well, because so far I am very impressed. This is definitely one of Carenado's better aircraft. Love it. Now at flight level 300, and we are definitely at the surface ceiling of this aircraft here, without a doubt. Our ground speed is currently 220 knots, and if you wonder I'm seeing that, I'm looking, in fact I'll zoom in for you. Can you see that right at the bottom there? And it's worth saying, guys, I think it's always worth saying that in the reverb I can see every single piece of text. There's nothing I can't read, and that's what I love about this headset, really. And in aircraft like this that have that really high resolution cockpit layout, you know, the 4K textures, I think it just makes it even sweeter. Even if frame rate is a little low, but to be honest, it's not too bad, actually. It might look bad on the actual... In fact, we're actually just loading in some orthos. But I'm getting around 30 frames per second when I'm recording, and when I'm not recording, I get about 40 frames per second. Now, all being well with Vulcan, if that ever does happen, if we ever do see it around the corner, that will make quite a difference to VR users, I think. Well, I'm hoping so anyway, but we'll see. So okay guys, I will continue in the cruise, and I'll see you again as we get to our top of descent. So I'll see you then. for a moment. I'm just really relaxed here in this King Air. It's a great cross-country tourer actually, and as I say, the engine sounds are very nicely muted in the cockpit. They sound really powerful outside of the cockpit, and just panning around, just looking at all the detail in this aircraft, it just looks really nicely done. Well done to Carenado. I think this is an absolute winner. It feels modern, the frame rate is exceptionally good, it's very well optimized, everything just works really well. And just been looking at all of the detail in the cabin here as well, and just those wing views, just gorgeous. And I just love how like the reflection as well looks in the actual window itself. I mean, in VR, as I'm moving my head around, looks very convincing and feels right. You know, sometimes it won't necessarily render so well in VR, but it again, it just looks, yeah, absolutely superb, and helped by the incredible views there. This is my own freeware, it's not freeware, sorry, my own free scenery that I've downloaded in Ortho XP. I plan on doing a few more European trips actually, and I'll certainly be taking this King Air along with me when I do that. Anyway, just thought I'd check in with you guys. We're not too far away from top of descent now. Wow, look at those views, oh my god, that is just gorgeous. So I will see you, I definitely will see you now before we begin our descent into Courchevel, which I'm getting a bit nervous about now that we're getting a bit closer. So I'll see you very soon. Okay everyone, welcome back once again. Just enjoying some of the views out there. Do you know, I can just sit here for hours and just really enjoy all of that incredible scenery, especially with all of these amazing airliners that are going past as well. And this aircraft is just a pure joy to fly. I'm just getting a bit of a cabin warning altitude, but ignore that, don't worry. You're in safe hands with me, honest. We're just about to descend down now, and you can see there the green little circle. You might not be able to see that very well, but it is there, trust me. You can see it in the reverb, no problem. I'm just backing off the engines. As we go down, the air is going to get thicker, so we need to make sure we don't overtalk the aircraft. So the elevation, we need to keep in consideration the elevation of Courchevel. It's very high up in the mountains. I think it's something like 7,000 feet. So we'll take that into consideration as we are descending down. One thing we didn't do, we didn't put our prop sync on, but too late now, so that's something we did forget. Never mind. Don't think all the paying passengers in the back noticed, so I think we got away with it. Just look at these views here, guys. Oh wow. Very, very stunning indeed. I really would recommend this flight actually, guys, if you're stuck for routes, or if you fancy something different from your tube flying, if you'd fly airliners or little GA aircraft. I would definitely recommend Innsbruck to Courchevel. It is simply breathtaking, and an aircraft like this is perfect for the job, because you've got to obviously take into consideration that when you get to Courchevel, you've got that really very small, very difficult approach, and I'm hoping this King Air will be the aircraft for the job. But I cannot get over this scenery, it is absolutely stunning. So I'd also like to just say, whilst I'm flying, that I hope you guys are all well. Obviously there's a lot going on at the moment in the world. It's quite a scary place at the moment with this COVID-19 virus going around. So I hope everyone is doing what your local government is recommending, whether it's self-isolating, social distancing, or just taking care and making sure you're washing your hands and doing everything you need to do. So far I'm currently still working, but I might have to resort to working from home very soon. But either way, I'll keep trying to churn out some YouTube videos for anyone who is in isolation. It's not a nice place to be really, so as I say, this video goes out to you if you are feeling it at the moment, and I hope things will change soon. I'm sure they will. Just chin up, you know, do some flying, do what really makes you happy, because I think mental health is certainly a big issue that is going to be affected by all of this. So as I say, take care, and hopefully things will change very soon and we'll be back to normal. Okay, welcome back guys. We are now on approach finals to runway 23, and I'm fighting quite a bit of turbulence here. We're full flaps. The aircraft is really behaving very well, even at this sort of really close to stall, and a lot of Carenado aircraft do feel very fluid and have a sense of predictability about it. Not in an unrealistic way, but in a very stable way, which I do like. But here we go guys, make or break. We are committed to this landing. I cannot believe it's so scary in VR, let alone in real life. I've no idea how pilots do this and keep their nerve, but we are going in here.
300, 200.
Oh my god. Get her down. There we go, reverses. And we have made it. And I'm so pleased I picked this aircraft for the job, because it has done very, very well indeed. Welcome to Courchevel guys, we have made it. Absolutely madness, what a crazy airfield this is. I highly recommend trying this in VR. It's absolutely insane. We'll get a sense of vertigo. We'll just park here and catch our breath. Look at that for a view. We'll go outside, listen to those engines spool down. What a fantastic aircraft, and what an amazing place to take it. So thanks guys so much for coming along for this crazy ride into Courchevel. We have been flying the brand new Carenado King Air C90 in X-Plane 11.41 at the time of this recording, and I think I need a whiskey after that, my goodness me. But yeah, really nice aircraft. It's just beautiful, it really is. Very nicely modelled, flies really well, autopilot behaves itself, VR ready as well, everything works in VR, and it just looks and sounds this good as well. The audio sound set is very nice. So yeah, thanks guys so much. I'm going to go to the restaurant now, and I'll see you again on the next one. So take care, bye for now.